fine at your homes. So student, today we are going to start again a new chapter, that is the Great Indian Desert. This is chapter number 12 in our book. So students, like always, we will first of all try to understand the meaning of this title and then we will move to the chapter. Okay, so the Great Indian Desert. Students, this is an area. This is the name of an area that is located in our country, India. Okay, we will study in detail like where it is located, what are the main features of this area and many more things. Okay, so students, before moving to this topic, the Great Indian Desert, first of all we need to know what is a desert. Okay, we need to know what is a desert. So we will study like what are the features of a desert, what kind of area is called as desert. Desert in Hindi we call it as Marusthal or Registan. You all are aware about this. Okay, but how do we define? How would I say that this particular area is known as a desert? So students, in deserts there is a feature that these kind of areas get very low amount of rainfall throughout the year. These areas get very low amount of rainfall, right? So first feature of the desert is very low rainfall. These areas experience very low rainfall, and those areas which experience very low rainfall, then obviously it will be a dry area. So throughout the year these remains dry. These areas generally remain dry, right? So yes, after that, what kind of soil these are having? We know that soil color is like yellow or brown something, right? So same kind of soil is there in a desert, but the texture is different. It is having a texture of sand. When we touch sand, we experience a different kind of texture, right? But when we touch normal soil, the soil is very soft. So this area is having a sandy kind of soil, means that looks like soil, but its texture is very different from the soil. Its texture is like sand. Okay, so this soil is having a sandy, there is a sandy kind of soil, right? Means retili. Okay, so after that, now I told you that the rainfall is very less, right? So when the rainfall is less, the area is dry, right? But also it will make the soil infertile, so the soil is not good because rain is not there, so there are not much crops over there. Okay, so this we say that this area is having a scanty vegetation. Scanty vegetation. Scanty means less or small, we can say, right? Means there is not much variety of vegetation over this area. The crops are very particular, very less amount of crops, very less amount of trees are grown in these areas like deserts. Okay, so first of all, these are few features of a desert, like how we get to know that it is a desert. And yes, one more thing, students, in deserts it is very harsh condition. Harsh means it's not easy to live there. The living conditions are very harsh. The next point is harsh living conditions are there. Okay, means when people living there, they experience very much trouble. Why this trouble they face? Because students, it's about temperature. The temperature conditions are very extreme. Extreme means either they are very high, either they are very low. So in the daytime, the temperature is very high in summers, or in winters the temperature is very low. So it is very cold in winters and very hot in summers. And also in normal days, it is very hot in the daytime and very cold in the it's very cold in the winter time. Okay, so it's very extreme. The temperature conditions are very extreme. So that's why living is a bit trouble in these areas. It's not that easy. So temperature is very extreme. Temperature conditions are very extreme in this area. Okay, extreme temperature conditions are there. Now what is the meaning of this word extreme? I told you, yes. What is the meaning? It is either too high or too low. Too high or too low, right? So yes, high means it is very hot So these are some features of a desert, right? So students, after this, we will move to this, the Great Indian Desert. Okay, this is the main topic of our chapter, the Great Indian Desert. Yes. Now students, the Great Indian Desert, or we call it as Thar Desert. We call it as Thar Desert. Students, you have heard about this term. Try to remember where you heard about this term in the chapter number 7, our country. Yes, we studied about a little bit introduction of this topic. This, the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert, where it is located. It is located, its major portion is located in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Where it is located? Majorly it is located in Rajasthan and Gujarat. I hope you all are now aware of where these states lie. You must be aware of this fact that in the map where are Rajasthan and Gujarat. So students, I will show you those who are not aware of this. See, this is a physical map of India, right? So students, I'll be little bit closer. This area, see, this area is Rajasthan and Gujarat. So I have marked it with pencil, right? There, this dark portion represents the Great Indian Desert or Thar Desert. So student, this dark portion, it represents the Great Indian Desert and it is located in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Now students, below this, I have just darked a line. Okay, this line is Aravalli Range. This line is Aravalli Range. So Thar Desert is located. Where it is located? It is located between the Aravalli Range and the border of Rajasthan and Gujarat towards Pakistan. So it lies between Aravalli Range, right, and the border of Pakistan. Right? So this is the location of Thar Desert. First of all, you need to know this, that where it is located, it is located in Rajasthan and Gujarat, and it shares the border with Pakistan, and it lies just in between the Aravalli Range and the border we share with Pakistan and Rajasthan and Gujarat. Right? So this is the location of Aravalli Range. After this, this is the location of Thar Desert. Now we are going to study some important features of this Thar Desert, okay, or we can say the physical features. What are the first topic of our chapter is physical features of this Thar Desert. Like what kind of climatic conditions are there, what kind of soil is there, what kind of crops we grow there, and many more things. So what is the first topic? Physical features, right? Let me just drop it again. Okay, so yes, physical features topic is. Now tell me physical features of what? Physical features of Thar Desert or the Great Indian Desert, right? So students, in this we have studied about the location, right? Now there is the term that is known as sand dunes. This is an important term, sand dunes. So what is this term? See students, in these deserts, there are small hills of sands, like we see mountains, right? We have seen mountains, but there are small hills of sand in this area. That small hills are known as sand dunes. So what are sand dunes? Sand dunes are small hills of sand, right? What are sand dunes? Small hills means chote pahad. There are small hills of sand in this area. These hills are known as sand dunes. Now students, when we come to the weather, there are very hot winds. These are very common in this area, hot and dry winds. Now students, there are hills of sand, like small hills of sand. Now when this wind blows, sometimes it's very common, sometimes it takes away the sand with it, right? Now sand, when it is mixed with the wind, it will convert it into a sandstone, right? So sandstones, or called more precisely, it is known as dust the wind is very much high, having very high speed, that wind takes away sand with it and it is converted into a dust storm, right? Now students, these dust storm, what does these do? These take away the sand dunes with it, right? These dust storms take away the sand dunes with it. So these sand dunes keep shifting their position, right? So what are sand dunes? Sand dunes are small hills of sand which keep shifting their position, which shift their position due to, yes, we have already understood this, that which shift their position due to dust storms, right? So this is all about sand dunes, the dust storms. We can the people living here suffer in this area, right? And yes, we have seen about the location of Thar Desert. So students, after this, there is one more feature, very important feature. Now students, in sand, you can clearly imagine that in this area where there are small hills of sand and all area is sandy, then in that kind of area, obviously vehicles are not possible. Vehicles like cars, motorbikes, scooties that we have living in plain area, we use these vehicles like bus, trains and all these areas. These vehicles are not possible in these areas. So how do people travel? They travel using camel, right? They travel using camel. They use camels for traveling. That's why camel is known as ship of the desert. Camel is known as ship of the desert. Camel is known as ship of the desert. Why camel is known as ship? Because it is used as for traveling purpose. Camels are used for traveling purpose. People used to travel in deserts using camels. Now students, one question that is important and it is coming to my mind, that why only they use camels? Why can't they use other animals like horses, right? Why they can't use other animals? They are using camels only because there are two special features about a camel. What are these? See, camels are having, we have seen that camels are having their back somewhat elevated like this, right? They are having their back elevated. It is not straight like a horse, it is elevated. This portion in his back is known as a hump. It is known as a hump, right? So what happens? Camels can take extra food, extra water and they can keep it as a reserve in this hump. So camels can survive for many days. Like when people are traveling for many days, camels can survive without food and without water. So whenever they need energy, they take this reserve food from the hump, right? They take this reserve food and takes energy from it. So what is the special feature of camel? It can survive without food and water for many days, right? For many days, right? So students, one more feature, like walking in sand is not that much easy. So camels are specialized for it. Camels have padded feet, padded and broad feet, so that they can walk very easily in this desert, in this area. So they are having very broad and padded feet, right? So that they can walk very easily without sinking into the sand. They walk very easily. That's why camels are used for the purpose of traveling. Okay. So after this, now students, I told you that these deserts are very dry area, right? These are not having much amount of rainfall. So these are very dry area. But all the portions are not dry. There are some small lakes in these area. There are some small lakes in these area. Now how are these lakes developed? These lakes are developed. See students, sometimes what happens, the underground water comes to the surface through a spring. It comes to the surface and it is developed in the form of small lakes. These lakes have a special name. It has a special name. You need to learn this, that these small lakes in deserts that develop due to underground water. Underground water means the water that is present below the surface of earth. The water that is present below the surface of earth, that is known as underground water. Now this underground water comes to the surface. This underground water comes to the surface and small lakes are formed. These lakes are known as osses. Okay, these lakes are known as osses. So when these area is developed, like there are small lakes, so obviously the soil near it will become fertile, right? Because it gets water. So what is the benefit of these osses? It makes the soil fertile. Soil near it becomes fertile, right? So when the soil becomes fertile, obviously the trees can be grown there, right? Various trees are grown there. We will study it later in the next class, that what are the kind of trees that are grown near osses and in these desert. So yes, one more benefit is this. I told you that camels are used for traveling, right? So travelers generally what they do, they stop at this area, they stop at these small lakes and they just take rest and have water in these lakes. So traveler, what is the next benefit of these lakes? Travelers stop. Traveler means the people who are traveling from one place to another. Travelers stop here and take rest. Stop here to take rest and have water, right? Camels can have water here. So there are some benefits, and yes, obviously if in a desert we get a lake, it is like ice on the cake, right? So it is like icing on the cake. It's very beautiful. It looks beautiful. So people, what did they do? They grow crops there. They just they build their houses there. Many cities are developed near these osses. So these are like a boon in the deserts. Okay, it is very beneficial to have osses in the deserts. And yes, one thing is there, see students, in the deserts, there is less amount of rainfall, right? And there are some osses, small lakes developed there, right? And yes, one more thing is there, that where do the people get water then? Those who are not near osses, they will get water, and there is no rainfall, then how will they get water? They get water through a canal. The name of the canal is Indira Gandhi Canal. Okay. This is the major source of water living in these desert. This is the major source of water. People get water supply from this canal, right? We will study some more things about this canal, but we will do it in the next chapter. Till then, just go through these points. There are 2-3 points that we discussed today. We discussed that where does it lies, the Great Indian Desert. It lies in Gujarat and Rajasthan, right? After that, we studied about the camel, that camel is known as ship of the desert, and we discussed 2 features of a camel, that why is camel only used for a traveling purpose. After that, we studied that there are small lakes developed which make the soil fertile, right? So there are 2-3 points. Just go through these points and go through these points from the book also. Till then, take care. Namaste.